Okay, obviously Kyle and Bridget are one of the more boring couples, but Kyle's mom literally looked at them and said,
"You're gonna need a bigger boat."
like, I would hate to go on a Netflix show and my family is the highlight of my season, you know? All right, welcome to Tate's Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down episodes 8 and 9 of The Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. These are the finale episodes. Translation, we are not talking about the reunion, so don't get all spoily in the comments because I have not seen it yet, and that would not be nice. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's watch these women act like they're 17 again. Get it? I said 17 again because they're acting a little immature, and 17 because it's 8 and 9. Get it? Because it's like a math. Boom! Episode 8. This one is called The Backtrack of the Century. We are 2 weeks away from these couples delivering their ultimatum. We start with Haley and Pilar. Pilar feels like she's pushing Haley away. Haley's trying to tell her that she's not. This is that scene where Pilar has that complete breakdown where she starts crying about all the things she didn't have growing up. For example, knowing she was loved no matter what. She says the people that raised her are ashamed of her. She has no one to go to, no mom to talk to, no one to walk her down the aisle. She's not done yet. She says, apparently my self-worth is nothing because I'm with a woman, because I chose to love someone. And obviously you hate to hear that. It's just a lot, all at one time. And if it's true, like I said before, her family does indeed suck. Haley finally gets a word in. She's like, just because I love Megan doesn't mean I don't love you too. Poetry. Pilar says, I'm not giving up on you until you tell me to. Haley's moved by this. She's like, can I hug you? You see that, Pilar? That's called consent. Why don't you try? There's a time and a place, and it wasn't the time nor the place. So you could tell it's the end of the season because, Anyway, they get a quick make-up, make-out. Over to everyone's favorite villains, Dana and Megan. Megan is apologizing to Dana for hurting her, and Dana's like, look, I'm not running. I want everything from this experience. Megan's telling her how happy she is to be back with her, how much she missed her. Dana's like, I miss you too. And of course, these two are at the top of our naughty list, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that at-home Taco Bell, because not everybody be knowing about that at-home Taco Bell sauce. This doesn't change anything, but I have to call it out. Dana tells her, the Megan I know would have never done what you did. She would have never had sex. This was a test, and you failed. Megan's like, well, yes, we did do that, but we had a real connection. It wasn't just sex. Also, I'm a little confused because you also did sex stuff with Mel. Dana goes digging in her closet for a second, comes back with her gaslighting hat. She's like, listen, what me and Mel did was just kissing and stuff. It was more of a comfort thing. Just a quick question from me to the audience. When y'all kiss, do it sound like this? Because if they do, call me. Dana's like, it's just different. Okay, Dana, it's different. Like the shit is in HD, Dolby Digital surround sound. I was hearing it, Okay, now we're over to Marita and Ashley. We're going to meet Ashley's sisters, Alexis and Allison. Allison is Ashley's twin, who is actually eating her up. That's not important, though. They're all debriefing the process. Ashley tells them that the first week back was horrible, but that was a surprise to her because she thought that they had the least issues of all the couples. These sisters are honestly doing the Lord's work. They're talking about love languages, and they're like, look, y'all, if your love languages are this different, it might not work out. But it's okay. We know that you love each other, but sometimes people just not compatible or maybe you just outgrow the relationship. If Ashley can't give you, Marita, what you want, maybe it's time to move on. And that's okay. Where have these sisters been at the whole season? Where have these sisters been at the whole relationship? Then we go to Mel and Marie. For the 15th time, Mel is talking about how she can't see herself in a long-term relationship and how most of that is because she's never seen a healthy relationship around her and her family or whatever. Apparently, her uncle's girlfriend used to ask her to try to crack his passwords. Okay, listen, this message is for Mel's uncle's girlfriend and Mel's uncle's girlfriend only. If you need a kid to help you hack a password, it may be time for you to give up the internet espionage and just call up the show cheaters like our ancestors did. Mel's like, you don't understand. The cops were at my uncle's house every day, which we obviously know that they weren't. Anyway, Marie very calmly was like, do you think we would be like them? Mel's like, I don't know. Marie's like, did you ever think that maybe you could be the first healthy relationship you've ever known? Have you ever considered? Have you thought about that? Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that this scene is edited so choppy. I actually thought they had 2 cats, like everyone is supposed to. All right, now we got 10 days to the ultimatum. We are with Haley and Pilar at the beach, and it is going to be boring. Haley is telling Pilar that she didn't feel prioritized by her, but she did feel prioritized by Megan. This is where we find out that they went to the club and seen Dana and Megan, but Megan didn't say anything. Literally the Megan special. Then, to make matters worse, Haley texts Megan a song that she likes, probably one of them things from the Sex Jams 2025 playlist. You just hate to see it happen. This is kind of like when you text your crush and she doesn't text you back, so you tell yourself she was probably on an airplane and never got it, even after she hit land. It probably got lost in the metaverse. So even though it says delivered, you go ahead and send another text, and she doesn't respond to that one either. It's kind of like that. No one ever... Yeah, me neither. Listen, let's normalize double texting, okay? Anyway, unfortunately in this case, Megan does reply, but it's to tell Haley they need to cut off communication completely. That's cold. No wonder she's being so damn nice to Pilar. And from Haley and Pilar, naturally, we go to Dana and Megan canoodling on the couch. Megan's telling Dana, listen, I'm always going to love you. I'm always going to protect you. But I need to talk to Haley one-on-one. Dana's basically trying to tell her, you can't talk to her, which has never worked in the history of mankind. Or womankind. I lie. Dana is gearing up for another crash out. She is not letting Megan get a word in. Megan's fighting for her life. She's like, God damn, can I get a word in? What I was trying to say was, listen, I've never met anyone like Haley before. That was a very intense 3 weeks, and I want her in my life. Dana tells her, well, if you want to be with me, that's not happening. Dana asks her, listen, are you done with her or what? Megan's like, yes, obviously. I think. I'm not all the way sure. Dana's like, Megan, you're one of the most sure people that I know. This doesn't sound sure. Okay, we take a break from them for a second. We got to go over to Bridget and Kyle. And they are, of course, one of our more boring couples. But this scene was a highlight for me. I don't know if y'all saw it how I saw it, but this is when we was hanging again with Kyle's parents. Obviously, her parents just want to know what's been going on. Catch us up. What's tea? Give me the hot goss. They tell them about how the trial marriage has been going. Then, all of a sudden, Bridget jumps in and she's like, hey, do you guys think Kyle's ready for marriage? Kyle's dad is like, nope, no way, Shantae. Her job's not stable and her finances aren't stable. And we all know that neither are Bridget's. Kyle's like, yes, but why can't I get married, then work on that stuff? Kyle's mom's like, okay, how do I put this delicately? Worrying about money with another person who's also broke as fuck just adds another level of stress to the relationship. Kyle's not going down without a fight though. She's like, okay, I just don't know why all those things have to be figured out before you get married. Kyle's mom's like, okay, how can I dumb this down even further for your broke ass? Okay, if a couple is a sail and a boat, you two need a lot more. You two need a lot more boat. Go off, Kyle's mom. I was supposed to say, go off, Kyle's mom. Anyway, unfortunately for Kyle, her mom is not done eating. She's like, and if I'm being honest, Pilar was very mature and she had a very stable job. You two are artists, which makes things very hard. Yes, that is some tough love. And no, money isn't everything, but the data doesn't lie. Over 50% of marriages end in divorce or separation. Over 40% of marriages end due to financial disagreements. Not only that, did you know that lesbians have a higher divorce rate than gay couples and heterosexual couples? Yeah. In all marriages, women are more likely to initiate a divorce. So if you have two women, it's like math. Again, it's not impossible to make this work, but it could be like going through life with your partner in a potato sack race, but the potatoes is still in it. You know? So we want to make sure we have a money plan with our partners. We want to live below our means. We want to avoid debt. And we want to invest as much as we can. But of course, you guys know this is not financial advice. Okay, moving on to AJ and Brittany, a couple where at least one person had their finances in order. Honestly, I don't even know what happened in this scene, but all I know is that Brittany's face card was the big joker. Okay. I guess a lot of this scene was AJ telling Brittany that sometimes she feels like she's not enough, which obviously is true. She doesn't want to lean on Brittany completely. She wants to be her equal, which there has to be ways where you are her equal or where she leans on you for stuff. It sounds like you're only thinking about money. This whole scene reminded me of one of the greatest pieces of cinema that honestly, not enough people talk about. She's out of my league. This dude could not believe that a hot girl would like him, so he spends the majority of the movie talking himself out of what could be a beautiful thing. Because he knew that looks-wise, she was a 9 out of 10, and he was a low-grade 6. So by his calculations, she can never actually like him. He ignored all the other things that make a person a person. So yeah, you guys obviously never heard of that movie, but it's one of the greats. The point is, this is exactly what AJ's doing, just a different category. This dude in the movie thought only looks mattered in a relationship. Now AJ's acting like it's only money. I'm sure there's a reason why Brittany likes AJ. I don't understand it, but I'm sure there's a reason. You cannot act like money is the only thing that makes you desirable. Like, honestly, AJ, just take the meal ticket and ride out. She's not Bill Gates. Okay, we're out of there, and we are headed to the cocktail party where I'm already knowing it's going to be some passive-aggressive margaritas flowing all night. And boy, we don't got to wait long at all, because look at these awkward church hugs from Mel and Dana and Haley and Megan. Oh, my Lanta, I felt the cringe from my seat. Imagine though, just a week ago, you had their pussy in your mouth, and now you're treating them like that random person at work that's on the same bathroom schedule as you. Yeesh. Anyway, Dana tells Megan, hey, if there's ever a time where you want to leave, just tell me. Oh, word? May I direct your attention to episode freaking 1? Over to Ashley, she's telling the group, honestly, right now it feels like I'm the one getting the ultimatum. They're all looking at her like, you're on this show? Okay, just joking. Then Dana goes over to Mel. She's like, hey, why you being weird? Mel's looking at her like,
why you being weird to me?
Mel hates Marie, by the way, just a friendly reminder. Okay, so here Mel calls out Dana for telling her that she would still want to be friends. Dana's like, then we got the freaking matching tattoos. I was supposed to do that with Megan. Mel's like, bitch, you never told me that. Dana's like, yeah, cause I forgot. Oh, word, Megan? You forgot that Megan asked y'all to get matching tattoos? That's crazy. Because I'm not sure if you know this, but this is a Netflix show. So just a reminder, whatever. The real crazy part of this scene is when Dana tells Mel, hey, we could just deal with our shit later. Who even knows if we're going to end up leaving with these people? Oh my golly Wally. What? Dana, what are you talking about? You just told your girl Megan she can't even talk to Haley. Now you're telling Mel, just chill. We might not even leave with these hoes. Ain't no way. Ain't no way they lasted to the reunion. Now, of course, you guys probably already seen the reunion. You're probably laughing at me or like this is a profit. So, only time will tell. Anyway, Dana asks Mel, is this relationship not worth the patience? Dana is dangerous. And for those of you who've been wondering, Megan is indeed back to looking sick. So order has been restored. Not that I want her to look sick. It's just a joke. So she pulls up on Haley. She's like, hey, would you like to talk? Only if you want to, of course. Haley tells her, no, not really. But she's thinking, yes, obviously I'd love to. I'll make out with you right now. They get to talking. Dana's looking around like she lost her ball. Okay, this is also important because this is when Dana is telling Mel, girl, would you believe that Haley and Megan actually fell in love with each other? So yeah, I told her that we had feelings for each other and that we had a sexual relationship. You told her that you had a kissing relationship. Back to Haley and Megan. Megan has the absolute nerve to tell Haley, listen, I made certain promises to you because I thought I was at the point of no return with Dana. Megan tells Haley, and I quote, I love you for what we went through, but I'm not in love with you. Oh my golly, Wally. Ow. Like, I wasn't even in love with Megan, and I felt that. Maybe I was. Okay, get serious. Haley's looking at her like, the fuck? We held each other crying on the last night. Megan's like, yes, and that was indeed a special moment. But did I ever say that I was in love with you? Haley's like, bitch, yes the fuck you did. Whoa. Okay, we're out of there, and now there's only one more week to the ultimatum. The first thing we have here is with Kyle and Bridget burning that tinfoil. Somewhere out there, Kyle's mom's watching this like, I wouldn't normally have addressed that scene, but I just want to get that joke off for y'all. So, The next scene is with Haley and Pilar hanging with Haley's dad, giving him all the latest and the greatest. Her dad's like, whoa, it must be so nice for you guys to be back together. Haley's like, yes, it's nice, but I do owe it to you, to be honest. Do you though? That's your dad. He doesn't need to know about your little freaky escapades. He could just watch the show on Netflix like the rest of us. But I guess that's how her family rolls. She's like, Dad, Megan and I told each other that we loved each other, but that bitch is a fucking backstabber, and she reneged on the whole thing. So I'm out here looking sick. It's basically that's what I'm telling you. But let's get serious here because Haley is getting emotional. And wait a minute, good dad alert. Haley's dad gets up and shows her some love and support. And just when you thought this dude was going for dad of the month, he goes ahead and locks in the whole 2025 when he looks at Pilar and he's like, hey, I'm not just here for Haley. I'm here for you too. Damn, Haley's dad, you know Pilar can't handle hearing that, poor thing. Back over to Dana and Megan is talking about her family. She's telling Dana, yeah, my mom wants me to marry a man, but I hope now she can see that we're serious. Well, Megan, when your family watches this show, they're going to clearly see that you're not. But Megan does slightly get one off when she tells Dana how her parents don't have the right to talk because they didn't have the best relationship. Now, even though Megan and Dana don't belong together, she does make a good point here because a lot of times families be so quick to judge someone else in the family's relationship when they are literally the poster child for toxic relationships. It's like a little bit of projection. So it's good for her to call that out. It's like, oh, you're all mad at me for liking a woman where so-and-so is doing this to so-and-so and so-and-so. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in that kind of family, just be a little careful of that. Like, what did the prophet 50 Cent say? You shouldn't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. And if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth. Cause I'll break your face. Have your ass running, mumbling to the Jake. The going gets me, dog. You're making a mistake. I spit you, leave you looking like the Michael Jackson jackets with all them zippers. That's patiently waiting. Eminem 50 Cent. Look it up. Over to Ashley and Marita. Yeah, what's happening here? Okay. Marita's telling Ashley, there's so many things in a relationship that I want, and you're not giving them to me. Naturally, Marita is crying. Ashley is trying to console her, but she's never hugged anyone before, so she just tries to, okay, now we're at the last day of the trial marriages. We're with Marie and Mel. They're making pasta. Marie's like, so, how are you feeling? Mel's like, honestly, it switches by the day. Freaking Marie's like, yeah, love that for me. Poor thing. Marie, literally save yourself. Then out of nowhere, we get this Melifesto. This girl's out here talking like Hamilton. She's like, Marie, should we embark on separate paths? Just know this. When you walk into a room, you radiate it. And I'll never forget the good times. I'm never satisfied. Marie's like, bitch, what even is this? We end the episode with Dana and Megan. And Megan is telling Dana how much she loves those Fast and the Furious cookouts. Which, honestly, what are you talking about? But also, yes, they're fucking fire. Dana is again talking about how she might never get over the fact that Megan fell in love with Haley. I'm sorry. Still, all of that for you to still want to go back to Mel? You sneaky freaking McSneak. Boom, episode 9. This is Ultimatum Day. And honestly, we're not going to spend a lot of time here. I'm going to touch on a couple highlights and we're going to get in and out of these proposals. Okay, cool. First up, Haley pulls up on Megan, brought her a shirt that she caught at a New York Liberty game. And Megan, you are weird, but you do have that shit on. Megan is telling Haley, look, I realized I want different things. We are too similar. Megan has the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to tell Haley, look, if you want to be my friend in the future, you're going to have to apologize to Dana.
Bitch, you better be joking.
Now, I can't prove this, but I know for a fact that right now, Dana is out there freaking that Mel thing out, changing the whole order of their 2025 Spotify Wrapped. Anyway, Haley's like, you dumb bitch. Okay. She didn't say that. She was thinking it. What she really said was, I would never let anyone in my life treat me the way you treated me. I don't want you in my life in any capacity. You see, Marie? That's how you stand up for your self-worth. Megan tells Haley, I respect your wishes. Okay, our first couple is up. It is AJ and Brittany. And what else is new? Brittany got that shit the fuck on. Not gonna waste your time here. AJ says a whole bunch of stuff as AJ does. Brittany cries a lot. AJ gets down on one knee and proposes. Brittany says yes with no more juice in her eyeballs. Next up, we got Haley and Pilar, and they both look very nice. You see Pilar try to get that handful, but then she remembered, gotta get consent. Pilar tells Haley a whole bunch of stuff, but the moral of her story is that Pilar says she will always choose Haley. Pilar gets down on one knee, then both knees, then the other knee, and proposes. Haley says yes. Ashley and Marita are up next. Listen, y'all know that I know y'all, right? So y'all know that I know that y'all fast forward this whole scene. So a lot of y'all are hearing this for the first time. Okay? All right, here's what I wrote. Ashley is wearing that is it blue, is it gold dress. Your girl Ashley came like she works at a Honda dealership. Then you see that black cat in the scene. You already know it's a rap city. Ashley caught it though. She's like, there's a black cat over there. Is that bad luck? Marita's like, yeah, yes it is. Okay, get serious. Ashley has prepared something written for Marita. If you act now, you can get the 2026 Civic for $0. Okay, she didn't say that. Have you guys ever thought about letting me have some fun once in a while? Just consider it. Whatever. She did say some very nice words. Even Marita was like, yes, this is what I want from you. Ashley tells her, Marita, you deserve all the love in the world. But have you been happy with me these last couple months? Marita's like, no. Ashley's like, I know. So that's why I cannot go through with an engagement with you. It's not the right time. Marita's like, damn, I was going to say yes, but you took that away. As a reminder, Ashley is the one that gave Marita the ultimatum. So just in case, just need a little refresh. And as boring as their story has been, this is a sad ending. Sad, but necessary. Kyle and Bridget are next. And I must say, Bridget, you have that shit on. And okay, Kyle, with the pink loafies. I didn't know you had it in you. I wasn't familiar with your game. Her mom's probably watching this like, how much did y'all spend on those outfits? Just kidding. Anyway, after 2 long dissertations, Kyle gets down on one knee, only slightly creasing the pink loafies, and proposes. Bridget says yes. Good for them. And Kyle says that she's always wanted to be a fiance because it's the only gender-neutral term in relationships. And I've never even considered that. I love that. Well done. Okay, before we get into our last 2 couples, of course, we have Dana pulling up on Mel in that Zara dress. Also, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Dana's boobs was popping into the next episode. Respectfully. Sorry. She tells Mel that she reread the letter that she wrote for her. She forgot how cared for she felt in their trial marriage. She tells Mel, yes, there's something here, but I can't open my heart to you when I'm in love with someone else. Eek! Yikes. Mel's like, well, obviously this whole thing meant more to me than it did to you. No, see what's happening here is that while you may hate your partner, Marie, Dana likes Megan enough. So your fling was fun and you guys gonna probably canoodle in the future. But for the TV show's sake, she has to lock in with Megan. So I know you hate Marie and hopefully you guys figure that out in the future. But that's a translation to what she's saying. That's Dana speak. Dana even asks Mel, like, what was your proposition? Dana is literally begging Mel to tell her that she wants to run away with her. Freaking Mel's like, well, I don't know. I didn't have a plan. I got Marie a ring today. Dana's like, you got her a ring? Did you get that ring because you wanted to? Who were you doing this for? Freaking Mel's like, I'm doing it for Marie. This whole thing was a tough watch. She really does like Dana for some reason, but in the end, who loses? Marie. All right, Dana is now back with Megan. The show must go on. She asks Megan, hey, how's your talk with Haley? Freaking Megan's like, we can talk about that later. Dana's like, we can talk about that shit right the fuck now. Megan's like, I did exactly what you made me do, but wanted me to think it was my own idea. I told Haley that if she wants to be around me, she's got to apologize to you. Dana's like, wow, I'm very proud of you. Whatever. This fraud will certainly get exposed at the reunion. Now we see that Dana wrote Megan a letter. Probably stole half of the heat that fucking Mel put in her letter. Megan also wrote something, and I have to admit that it was very nice. Megan gets down on one knee and proposes. Dana says yes. But because Dana has to be the main character in every movie, she reaches deep into the abyss that is her cleavage, pulls out a ring, and reverse Unos her proposal and proposes to Megan her damn self. She's like, well, yeah, I want to marry you, but how do you want to marry me too? Megan says yes. I guess she got a ring out of it, so whatever. All right, we're almost there. Last and certainly least, Mel and Marie. And I must say, Mel is the worst dressed person in the whole episode. Yes, that includes Pembroke Pines Honda Employee of the Month, Ashley. Now, that's not nice or important. Marie tells Mel it's rewarding to see how much you've grown in this process. Grown where? Mel tells her, look, even though I'm terrified to do this, I want to do it with you. You always said you were a simple person and you didn't need anything fancy. So I got you this. Freaking Mel pulls out a ring pop. Ugh. And like, Mel is so freaking weird. I believed that was her spiel. But of course, just like everything else in Mel's life, it was all a ruse. She has a real ring. She gets down and proposes. And Marie says yes. This whole show is going to be a tough watch for Marie. But she can't see it yet. There you have it. 5 out of 6 proposals. And boom, that's episode 9. Oh, man. The finale already out. Y'all done already seen it. I haven't seen it yet. But I can't see more than 2 of those couples still being together at the reunion. And I could sound dumb or I could be a prophet. But yeah, so I have to watch the reunion. Do I have to make a video for this? Because what if it's not good? If it's not good, I'm not making a video. If you guys tell me in the comments, crisp. If you guys tell me in the comments, we need it for a real, not just because there's heat in there, then I'll do it. It's a holiday weekend. I'm trying to be in these streets. Well, let me do my little anything. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, well, who did you predict to say yes in these things? And if you did see the reunion, don't spoil it, but just tell me, hey, it's worth it. And if you didn't see the reunion, who do you think is still together? Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. They think they crazy, but they ain't crazy. Let's face it, shit. Basically, they just playing shit. They ain't shit. They ain't say it. Should spray it. 50 A to the K, get in the way. I bring drain them with me and turn these day in a fucking mayhem. You staying with me? Don't let me lose you. I'm not trying to confuse you when I let loose with this Uzi and just shoot through your Suzu. You get the message, then my getting through to you. You know it's coming. You motherfuckers don't even know, do you?